the stream.
I promise not to abandon you this week.
Well, it's not like you tried to last week.
But I didn't promise. So this time I'm promising the very convenient 30-minute internet outage that interrupted our recording, but anybody who soldiered through and listened to you and Emily hold it down for 30 minutes.
I'm sorry. I'll be more ready next time. I'll be more ready. I will be ready. I will be more ready.
It was actually a training exercise. I didn't have any internet issues. I was testing Eden.
Yeah.
To see how she responds to crisis situations. You know, because what if one day the mailbag has to, what if I disappear and the mailbag has to carry on? Like, what will happen then?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
There's no mailbag without you, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's like if you're out one day or the internet cuts out again, I can carry for
that knowing
time,
that the internet will come back.
Yes, but I'm just saying, I'm not trying to do a mailbag show without you. Like, you know.
Yeah, how many is this our 7th year of mailbags?
Yes, it is.
It's a lot of years of mailbags.
It is.
Think back to where we were in 2017. A lot of questions.
I miss Tony's trivia. Tony's trivia, remember?
I do remember. Yeah. I listened back to, not recently, but I think like last year I listened back to my first ever mailbag, and I was not good. I can tell you that for sure. Yeah, the trivia questions didn't really hit. There's a lot of silence, a lot of dead air.
Did you pick too hard questions though? Because that's usually your downfall, is the questions are too hard for other people.
Probably. Yeah. Kaylee Brandt was supportive though. She liked the trivia.
Love Kaylee. I miss her so much.
Early proponent of Tony's trivia, but yeah, it was mostly awkward, and I think that was because, man, remember all those years we did it with like 6 people on the call and you couldn't see anybody?
You couldn't see anybody. The timing was so awkward. It was hard to get a word in. Like, I feel like the first year I was on the show consistently, I averaged like 3 sentences because I was always like too nervous to cut people off. And then like, not nervous, but I like felt rude cutting people off. And some people were not rude at all. I mean, did not care at all about cutting people off or dominating the conversation. We won't name names, but if you guys were listening, y'all would know who.
God damn, 5 dudes! Oh my God, 5 dicks! Damn.
But it was his show, so we can understand. It was the best.
Not just him, but you know, not just him. It wasn't just him.
Oh, wow! Shade being thrown. Yeah, we won't talk about that. We won't bring that up. But yes, it was a weird way to get your podcast legs, podcasting blind, podcasting.
I think that's why we're so good at it now. We can roll through all the punches at any given time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
there's a lot of
crosstalk still these days, but man, there was a lot of crosstalk back in the day, and you didn't even know if what you said was heard.
Yeah,
and Jade would probably not be listening.
Yeah, Jade just randomly interjecting whenever he feels like it.
Come drifting in with whatever tabs he has open on the screen. It was a good time, but yeah, we were the first people to do blind podcasting. We were the first people to do remote podcasting. It was a hell of a time.
Definitely the first ones to do it with like 7 people on average every week.
Yes.
I don't see anyone else doing a 7-person show where you can't even see each other.
Yeah, that was pioneering by Jade. Briscoe says Jade was the all-time Stugots and Greg Cody mixed in one person. Amazing.
I love that.
That's interesting. I mean, do you think he's more Stugots or Greg Cody?
More Cody probably, because he's not. Jade isn't fraudulent, like. But he definitely just like talks about whatever he wants when he wants, which is more of a Cody thing. Mm-hmm. And sort of the me maximum. It's like Jade definitely had his moments where it's like, this is my show and I can talk about whatever I want. And it was kind of funny, especially when the topic was completely something else that we were all talking about. And he would just like randomly drop. Oh, I miss Jade.
Those are the days. Yeah, I think more Cody for sure. I don't think there's that much Stugots in Jade. Maybe a little bit.
I'm the one that tries to fill the Stugots role, but I'm not fraudulent enough. I try though.
Yeah, I mean, I think Amin is on track to be the next Stu. I think that's where we're at with the Amin El Hassan experience. Like that's definitely what he is on Cinephobe. Like he's the Stugots of Cinephobe. He shows up, he's less prepared, he
Oh yeah.
makes shit up
Doesn't know
lies,
how to use audio, even though
doesn't
he's been
talk into a
doing it
mic.
for
Yeah.
years.
But he
Yeah.
does it on purpose. But then he lies and says he does it on purpose and says
Oh,
it's
of
part of the
course.
plan.
Yeah. It's part of the bit, you know, just leaning in as always.
Who and then Zach could be a top tier Stugots, says Toxic Avenger. I mean, he could be. I don't think that's his resting persona, but I think Amin's resting persona has become Stugots in a lot of ways.
I could see that. I could see that for sure. Definitely just like there's just like a je ne sais quoi about Stugots, you know? It's like hard to explain to someone that doesn't know who he is, but if you know, you know. I feel like
I feel like I am missing out a little bit because I don't think I got prime Stugots. I've only gotten washed Stugots,
yeah.
which is more Stugots at the same time. But like,
Almost like two Stugots.
was he ever sharp?
Well, I only started listening in like 2014. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's like
not I'm a
2014. I mean, that's still, a good 5-6 years before I was
Oh,
listening to it
okay.
regularly. Like, what was he like in 2014?
He was I do feel like he was more informed about I do feel like he used to watch sports still. Like he definitely used to watch the games. Sometimes he would at least like he still would, just make up stuff and say whatever he wants, like the takes just flew with him, but he definitely used to watch the games. He used to watch the games. I would say that's probably the biggest thing I've noticed is that. But I do remember, man, there were some serious like Stugatz moments where it's just like you cannot script this stuff. There's
Mhm.
no way you could come up with this stuff. Like I think this is probably a little bit later in like 2018, but I just remember this one random clip that I'm like obsessed with, and then it's was one where he's just like whispers like cash in like the background. And then like Dan is like just giving him this look and he's like, I can't look at you. I can't look at Dan right now. And it was just like such a quintessential Stugatz moment that I'm like, I don't even know how to explain this to someone. I'll find it and drop it in the chat later. But it was pretty iconic. I feel like those just like very organic like moments. Like I'm not saying the show isn't organic anymore, but there was definitely kind of like it's just changed so much like from the
Yeah.
format that they used to do that it felt more like raw back then. And now it's like they're like building something and growing as they grow their audience. But like, man, some of that stuff was wild, wild west back in the day, a
Yeah.
little bit.
It definitely seemed more like they were doing a basement show
And
than
it did feel like no one at
somehow
ESPN knew what they were doing a lot of
right,
the
that
time.
somehow ended up on ESPN. Whereas now it's like they know what they're doing and
Yeah.
they're not like trying to keep it secret from anybody. Vinay says that his mother-in-law is Stugots, and then he says, I've not told my wife this anyways. He's keeping that secret from his wife that he thinks his mother-in-law is
Oh my
Stugots.
god. I'm gonna need to hear examples of that, Vinay.
Yeah,
Let
what's
us
her
let us know.
best Stugots
Tell
lie?
us stories.
Hit us with that in the chat. Okay, we got Emily is out. Zach is in Paris now, or
Okay,
headed
and
to
he's
London. He asked you
London?
for London
Yeah.
Rex, so he's literally in the channel right now, somewhere in the channel. We'll probably get Mo and Katie later, but it's just me and Eden holding it down. So Eden,
I'm here for this. I'm here for this.
Chip Skylark asks, do you actively search out new music or do you stick to the same bands?
So that's very interesting. I feel like lately I've actually made a lot of friends that are able to give me music recommendations, but for a while I was very much stuck in sort of like a loop of listening to like who I like was kind of sure that I liked listening to. And so it's like kind of funny, like just using K-pop, for example. You guys all know I listen to K-pop, and it's like I I have like so many friends that are like multi-stands that like love so much music from a lot of different groups. And it's like I really have like a few groups music that I really, really like, but like overall, I don't think the entire genre is super strong. Like I think that they grind out a ton of music and that, that's great for them and their economy. But like I actually don't like a good, like I just think a good 60-70% of it is just like very mediocre. But because I started a Stan account and made some friends, I've been able to get like recs that are more similar to the group that I stan. So from there, I've actually like gotten some really good music recs like just in the last year when I came out of standing retirement. But before then it was actually kind of tough because like I actually just didn't really like what Spotify, like everyone loves the Spotify algorithm, but I really struggled. Like even with so like Vitalik, like I went through a good like EDM electro pop phase a little bit. And like Vitalik is one of my favorite like artists. He's like a French EDM pop artist. But like I would try to like put on Vitalik radio and it would just give me like all these weird recommendations. Like I don't know if it's because like I don't know, just I don't know who was messing up the algorithm and what their crap ass playlists were, but I was just like, none of this is anything similar to Vitalik or what I'm looking for. And only really was able to find like a very small handful of songs that I liked from the Spotify algorithm. And then like I started listening to podcasts a lot and fell off of music a little bit because it's like if I'm not sure that I'm going to enjoy the listening experience, I might as well be listening to a podcast where I know I'm getting information at least and feeling like fake productive.
Mo, the question was,
I agree with everything Eden said without knowing the question.
Oh, thank you, Mo. You're being very amicable today. Wow.
Picking up an ally baton. He's trying to be an ally.
When am I not amicable?
A blind ally. He doesn't even know what he's agreeing to, but he agrees with it. That's great.
It was my presentation style. It was just so well spoken.
Convincing.
Do you want to know the question or do you not care?
Sure. It's good to know what I actually agree with.
Question was, do you actively search out new music or do you stick to the same bands?
I stick to the same stuff. I mean, I will throw on music's not as big for me as it used to be.
Yeah.
I just listen to podcasts or whatever. So like when I'm in the car, I don't hear anything on the radio unless it's Jamie and I, because she doesn't care for the podcasts I'm listening to.
She doesn't like Cinephobe, huh?
I don't want her to listen to Amin.
Smart.
On
That's
Cinephobe,
smart.
period.
It's
might taint her view. Might taint her view of him.
Yeah, don't use Amin and taint so close together.
Oh, please.
Well, I've told you like every now and then, like I've been in the car with my dad and Levitard will be on, and my dad will randomly start looking at me going like, "What are they talking about?" And it's like, I need to.
Don't worry about it.
But music, so like every now and then I'll throw on like the top 100 on Spotify just to see, but I don't care. Like if I'm in a mood musically, I'm gonna have a specific band I want to go to. And yes, I'm eating a banana. I'm starving. I've been running around since 8 this morning.
Hey, nobody said anything. None of us.
No, they did in the chat.
I know.
A lot of people in the chat are questioning Mo's banana decision. I feel like I've been outspoken on this before. I've listened to the radio in the car like a 90-year-old man in 1992. I don't really listen to Spotify at all. Like very occasionally I will use it. I mostly use it for trivia, and that is always old stuff.
Wait, you use Spotify for trivia is what you meant?
I have a playlist of all the songs that I've used for trivia, and then I read the lyrics at trivia, and then I play the song at the end of the round.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I have
cool.
like a playlist of, I don't know, it's like 500 songs or something now that I've used for trivia. I stopped actively searching out new music in like 2012. I just was running. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I felt like it's a full-time job. It
is
literally, because you got to listen to it. There's no way to know that you like it unless you listen to it, and you listen to it probably more than once.
Yeah,
And
I would say through that, like, sort of that same time period, because we're about the same age. Like, I used to be that person that always knew, like, was like the person that was like handing out the new music to everyone else in the friend group. And then, like, I just was like, I can't do this anymore. It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
It had social currency in college for sure, and after college, you wanted to be the person who put on something cool and new that nobody had heard, or have you heard that new whatever? And yeah, I don't know. It just lost steam to me. I just like stopped caring.
Yeah, when I was in the NBA, that was like the thing, right? Was knowing all the new stuff that's coming out, having the like, we had video guys that were on top of that who were like had, what's this stuff to be playing in the locker room and things like it was all that stuff. I mean, not in the NBA anymore, and most of the stuff not really that good. So, in my opinion, obviously.
No,
Sean
I
McCullough
agree.
says this is why I miss physical copies of music. That's why you need to be a hipster and get vinyl. Obviously,
I still buy albums because K-pop is the only music genre that is selling albums.
Where do you go? Do you go to Sam Goody? What do you mean you buy albums?
Tower Records.
Yes, I go to Virgin Records actually to buy. Get Best Buy also. Yeah, I hit up Best Buy. That's where I get my albums.
Don't make fun of Best Buy. I still go into Best Buy. There's one not far from me. I like to poke my head
Does
in
the
every
Best
now
Buy by you have stuff in it?
Yes.
Because like I went to one in Arkansas before my parents moved back to Taiwan. It was when they were getting new phones right before they moved, and it was like there was nothing on the shelves / like everything was like locked down. Like you couldn't test stuff. Like I picked up a phone to like play with it. It was one of the fold phones, so I wanted to like feel it in my hand, and like I had it in my hand for maybe 10 seconds and the alarm starts going off, and I'm like, you guys, like what is this? Like this is the display phone, like it's here for people to play with. Like
no, the Best Buy by me is very
thriving. Okay,
going strong. So I'm a Best Buy fan.
Good for them. Good for them keeping it going into the 2020s. I mean, I like I like when I hear a song that I haven't heard before, and that could be from 20 years ago or it could be from right now. Like I do appreciate it. And then I would say that like there are liked songs on my Spotify that I do not know the artist really at all. It's like it got there somehow, and I Shazammed it, or I liked it, and I like listening to it, and it's cool or whatever. But I'm not like checking out the band, or I'm not like
like I'll like one song. I'll like one song from an artist that might be new or something like that. But it's not. It's also not enough for me to go like, oh, I need to go look up.
It's like not good enough for me to be like, oh, I need to go listen to the full album right now.
It's perfectly fine when I'm in the car listening to the radio for that 20-minute drive I'm in.
And I want to add on to like a thing that Mo said is like you feel like music's like not as good anymore. I feel like part of it is because of like TikTok, and it's like people are creating music to like for it to hit on TikTok and social media, but usually it's like it might have a good 20-second hook, but it doesn't, like the rest of the song isn't actually good.
Yeah, no, there's like a thing now where if you hit on TikTok with a viral song, you're gonna get an album.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's is his name Rod Benson or something like that, or because he did exactly that. There's a random song, some girl singing a hook, and it's like say hi or say yes in Japanese or something, and she goes hi, or like it's like that's a song. But I also blame, and I'm also going to blame some of your K-pop stuff. Wasn't there a song about Butter from the K-pop genre?
Yeah, first of all, Butter was a banger. I thought you were going to say...
but like, there's also Migos with Stir Fry. Like, what are we, like, really, dude? Like, this is the theme of Panda Express? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, there's tiramisu cake earlier this year was also a like very big in the
I know I sound old.
Space. I do too. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
I know, and I understand that, and I accept that. But like, come on, y'all got to do a little bit better than this.
Yeah, no, I will agree though. Like that actually is what I mean by it's like when I was saying that K-pop, I feel like a good 70% of it is extremely mediocre or under mediocre because it's just like they put out songs to do dance challenges with, but like the rest of the song isn't good. Like, I think it's flagrant across all music industries, but yeah. K-pop is definitely complicit.
I think there's still plenty of good music, but I think it's just like everything else. There's
Too hard to
an
find.
overwhelming amount of
I mean, it
noise.
has to be something like the Kendrick, not like us. Like that for that to come on my radar,
I mean,
it has to be like a massive beef, and that to be a
the
thing where
fact
I'm like,
that
okay, I'm in.
blew up and is still probably still very present.
I'm tweeting the USC marching band consistently to add that to their repertoire, and they did it. They did it last home game, and I'm like, "Thank you."
Nice.
I literally just responded, just saying, "That needs to be our song at SC."
Mo's
that
hard
needs
at
to be
work. Mo's hard
know,
at work getting the marching band nerds.
Literally,
to play
literally,
Kendrick.
while at the game, I heard it, and I was like, "Ooh, thank you." Like,
okay, Sean McCullough says the Cinephobe song is an actual banger, and then LT Smash says, Sean, which one? Let's get supercharged in here has won me over. Oh no. Eden, have you heard about this situation?
I don't think so. I'm like totally clueless.
Do you remember the Black Eyed Peas song? Let's get
Yes. Yeah.
started.
Yes. I know that song, but what about it?
Well, it's got a flagrant word in there, so we've modified it for us to supercharge.
Oh my god! It took me so long to make that connection.
I was like, "You ready to get there?"
I was like, "What?" I know the song.
that song? They only made the "Let's Get It Started" version for the NBA playoffs.
Oh.
Because apparently Adam Silver or David Stern approached the Black Eyed Peas and they said, "We love your song, but we need something else to be replaced." So they're like, "All right, fine, we'll get it started instead." And then boom, magic.
Was
rest
it magic?
is history, wasn't it? Welcome to the Friday Mailbag. It is Friday. We've got Katie in the car. We've got live texts from Zach in Paris saying, "I know morally it is not good, but I have dropped an insane amount of money on foie gras in Paris. All-time dill." Have you ever had foie gras?
I haven't.
I have. Only a couple of times, but it has been good. I do remember it being good. It's very rich from what I remember. But I've only had it twice because I'm poor.
I don't know if you could have it as... I don't know if I can have it as often as he's having it in such a short span.
5
yeah,
times
I'm also not sure.
in 2.5 days for foie gras?
Is that okay for like general health, Zach?
Not
There's
mental
a
health.
detox coming for him coming along.
Financial health.
Financial health.
How, I mean, yeah, 1, that's got to be terrible for your arteries. 2, how expensive could it be?
Yeah, also, isn't it, if he's in Paris, shouldn't it like at least be saving on import tax? Or is that how foie gras works? I don't know. I don't know the foie gras industry that well.
I don't know. You know, those geese, you don't have to import the geese because you're already in France.
Okay.
The gray geese. You can have it all.
And only France has geese. Nobody else has the...
Or is this one of those things where it's only foie gras if you're having it in France? And it's
foie gras over here. It's
not a champagne thing.
It's such a hotly debated thing when you have it.
Zach also went viral for discovering that they have Popeyes in Paris, which I think is hilarious.
He went viral for that?
I mean, like, he was getting retweeted by like Roy Wood Jr. and he got aggregated. It really happened. Like that was the one. Zach always gets aggregated for the dumbest shit. It's like
dumbest.
A picture of Popeyes. I don't know if he went.
Yeah,
I don't know if he did the science. We'll ask him. Did you get foie gras at Popeyes?
Because I've definitely seen.
He didn't go, right? He didn't end up going.
Or it wasn't open, I think.
The American diner, the
Hardy
American diner. Here's your
Midwestern diner. Yeah.
Here's your endless onion ring tower, sir. Would you eat Popeyes in Paris?
I would be curious to try it. Like, I mean, I would definitely eat Popeyes in any Asian country. like for sure. But
Well, isn't KFC better everywhere else? So Popeye's probably the same.
Yeah,
But
KFC
Popeyes
is
is supposed to be
amazing in
better
Taiwan.
in Louisiana.
It is. Yeah, I can confirm that the chicken I get here in New York is not the same as the chicken I got in New Orleans.
That makes sense.
At the one on St. Charles.
I mean, it should be
in the
better
Lower
in New
Garden
Orleans.
District.
It should be better in
Well,
Louisiana.
but it's a chain. I thought the
Yeah, but
idea of a
that's-
chain.
But that's
where
like
it originated.
that's the
Louisiana Kitchen.
anytime you make a copy of a copy, you
Yeah,
kind of
it's like
dilute
the
it,
flagship,
right?
the flagship,
right? Like
flagship store.
that needs to be the one where people go to they make the pilgrimage there and figure out, okay, we need to bring this to our chain.
Yeah, that Popeyes on
Zach
St.
says
Charles.
he did not have Popeyes, but thought about it.
You could have gotten like one piece of chicken or two-piecer, just a two-piecer to try.
You've done it for science, man. Just get one piece of chicken. That's all you need. That is all you need.
I got McDonald's
Huge disappointment.
chicken, fried chicken in Taiwan, and it was amazing.
Well, that was the one night in Australia, like when I was working with the team, one of the guys was like, Mo, I'm taking you to dinner tonight. And it was like late or whatever. And we finished work and stuff. I was like, I'm going to take you to this place. And he took me to McDonald's, and I looked at him going like, why are you making it seem like you're taking me somewhere new? And he's like, no. Have the chicken sandwich here. Because I know you've had it in LA, and it's totally different. And that's just Australia, but it's totally different in the way that it tastes and looks and everything. And I was like, this is the way it's supposed to be.
I believe that international fast food does it better. I think we've established that.
Yeah,
we have general higher food quality standards.
Right,
overall, is the
just
thing.
cleanliness,
yeah.
just the cleanliness.
Overall standards in general. Yeah.
Overall standards.
I thought Australia was the exception though, because didn't Zach go to Australia and say that fast food was terrible?
Oh, he said a lot of food.
My experience with the McDonald's there was great. So I don't know.
I think it's just that all food in general is pretty bad. Like their bacon, suck it, Paul bowl. It's not bacon. It's actually
Sorry, Paul.
A side of ham, a pork chop thinly sliced is what you call bacon down there. So I think it's in general Australian cuisine is not good, but I think American cuisine abroad could still be better in Australia. Adam Jameson though wants to know, Katie, how's the pillow? You guys still cuddling every night?
Oh, after I made those adjustments, we've gone several more bases.
Oh, what adjustments have been
after the modifications?
Perfect.
But yeah, I'm cuddling every night, and Dolores likes to be the big spoon, so she'll be right behind me, and then we're both in the maternity pillow together.
Wow, that's a big maternity pillow. Lots of room for everybody.
Yeah,
it's good for our autistic asses.
KFC Jamaica is insane, says Vince Jaime. I mean,
that's what I've heard.
Dust Eye dropping the Middle East Pizza Hut, massive in the Middle East. Like it's a whole different level of pizza, and actually a lot of their fast foods. But the funniest thing was around maybe like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, Taco Bell made its like debut in Dubai. And it had a line like in the Dubai mall, like all through the mall to just get the Taco Bell. And I was like, oh man, you guys are going to think these are tacos and come here one day. Be sorely disappointed.
Okay. We got a debate in the chat. LT Smash says Popeyes in Paris sounds like it would be a cinephobe movie, but Dust Eye says it sounds like a Weird Al cover.
Yeah, of like,
more like
you know what?
Can it be a cinephobe movie with Weird Al? Like,
wow.
Whoa.
Mo, you're saying you want to
combination.
You want it all.
I think I would need to know what the song, what the source material for the song that Popeyes in Paris is going to.
Well, I mean,
in Paris.
It would be it'd be the Kanye Jay-Z song.
Oh wow, did not make that connection at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's okay because you didn't know about the Black Eyed Peas either.
Yeah, I didn't.
Took you a second. All right. France John wants to know, would you drink a non-alcoholic White Claw?
I barely want to drink an alcoholic White Claw.
Yeah, I mean, I never got on the White Claw phase, but like, Sure. Like it's not something I'm going out of my way to do.
Like, would I try it? Morbid curiosity, I would try it. But I'm pretty picky about
it's a
like
seltzer that's
water.
way more expensive than it needs to be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you guys talking about? Absolutely
like it's still, like,
fucking
quadruple
not.
the price.
No.
If someone paid me to try it, like
this is the easiest slam dunk. No.
I would take a sip if someone paid me to try it.
We've had it a long fucking time. I don't like White Claw regularly.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm not drinking a non-alcoholic anything that's supposed to be alcoholic. I'm not drinking a non-alcoholic beer. I'm not drinking a non-alcoholic White Claw. Like,
what if Liquid Death started making alcoholic drinks?
I don't like Liquid Death.
I don't like it either. It's so weird. Like water in a can doesn't taste good. You can taste the can. I don't care what anyone says. You can taste the can. And water in a box, you can also taste the box.
I'm just not big into seltzers.
You can taste the box. What the fuck?
The box water.
Do we want to clip that?
Yes. I'm more fascinated by the proliferation of non-alcoholic bars that have popped
non-alcoholic drinks.
No.
that have also, by the way, at the same time have realized
Carl Radke.
Yes. But they're failing. They're all closing. They popped up and didn't last. Nobody wants to go.
Curious, yeah.
Nobody's going to a bar for a non-alcoholic. Yeah, like what are we doing?
Like, why don't you just go to a regular bar and not drink, like an order water or something?
Regular bars serve the non-alcoholic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just go to a
like
regular bar.
Like I don't know why you
get that Odell's or whatever. What's it called?
O'Doul's.
O'Doul's. That was close.
Dude, you're getting an Odell's.
It was close.
It was
because it had an O in it.
It was close for something you've never had and never considered ordering. Like I'm impressed. Sean McCullough asks, is it the equivalent of folks that don't get affected by caffeine yet love coffee? I mean, no, because you could just get decaf.
No.
Yeah.
It's like getting a decaf. What were you gonna say, Katie?
Well, Mo and I have been watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and we've learned that in Utah, soda shops are huge because they can't have coffee or tea or alcohol, and all these people go and get like 44-ounce sodas with like all different flavors and shit at like 8 a.m.
Like it's crazy. Like they're talking about like they have like 5 a day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the way they're describing these things. It's the flavoring that they want. It's I'm like, what the hell? Just have a goddamn Coke.
They're like, oh yeah, I get the Dr. Pepper with sugar-free coconut, sugar-free vanilla, sugar-free raspberry, and like coconut cream. And then I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about? What is it's like, remember when people do the suicide with sodas where they do every single
just mix
one?
everything.
Yeah. That's Mormons living on the edge.
Why were those called suicides? Does anyone know?
It's so sweet, it'll kill you.
Huh.
No, it's just. But that show, by the way, I know the other two aren't going to care, but that show is wild.
I'm loving it.
They are.
All right, you got 5 minutes.
Baby.
Go to town on your Mormon lives.
Are you done, Katie, or have you finished it? Yeah. How much? First off, Whitney is one of the worst human beings.
Horrible.
Like on
She's
TV.
The one in the chat that you guys have seen.
Yeah,
the one who danced for her child's. Her child's
RSV.
Yeah. And then this whole thing too of like, I'm leaving Mom Talk. No, you're not. Stop it. You already did a video while pregnant with Mom Talk, like dancing and doing this whole thing with the other two. It's all just bullshit. I don't believe any of this now. After finishing the show, this whole fucking thing was staged.
Do you know that Demi's husband was married to Angie Harrington?
Eden, I'm seeing that it was also called Graveyards or Zombies as well as Suicides. So it's always about
a lot of death involved. Yeah. Not liquid death.
You guys continue with that conversation while we have our conversation.
Yeah, we'll just be perfect. We'll just go back
alternate timelines a little bit. But yes, Jamie found that out about that whole thing and how she like these kids are just so fucking stupid. And the one that's dating the one that's married to like a 46-year-old is
that's
just
the one.
Yeah, that's her, right? Yeah, it's just like she tried out for Salt Lake City and didn't make the cut. I'm like, those ladies would have eaten you for. Well, Monica's a whole other level. Like, well, one of them's the hairdresser, right? Like, that's my guess from the crossover into Salt Lake City is like that's her hairdresser or part of that whole hairdresser's controversy.
Oh. And almost all of their husbands are gay, which is like confusing for everybody.
It's wild. They're all. By the way, that dude Zach. Is it Zach, the one who's married to Jen? That dude, first off, looks like a psychopath. He is. Oh, by the way, one of these ladies is related to Ben Affleck, like cousins or something.
Like. It's her husband's dad's second cousin is Ben Affleck.
Right.
And she doesn't let you forget it.
The dude looks like a Nordic psychopath. Mm-hmm. Right?
A Nordic
like
one.
Full on blonde. Like I'm expecting him to have like red beady eyes type of deal. Looks like he's never seen the sun.
He looks like a very proud boy.
Is it? Oh, he's definitely a proud boy. Absolutely misogynistic all the way. Mm-hmm. He's moving the family to New York for med school. No way this dude's making it through med school, and no way this dude's in New York not completely just running around and losing all of his Mormonism. No way.
Well, he already spent all his med school money on gambling, and now she has to pay for his med school.
Yeah. His family gave him money for med school, blew it gambling. They go to Vegas, and he's begging her for $2,500 so he could gamble. Like, dude!
And then says he's divorcing her because she went to Chippendales and didn't even see the show.
Yeah, she couldn't handle just being backstage. It was too much for her. I had a breakdown. It's complete bullshit. Oh, fuck it. All you guys love it. No, this is a great show. Go on for hours.
Where were you guys last week?
You guys still got like another minute. You still got another minute. You done? Or did Katie
okay, well,
freeze?
no. Okay, no.
Katie might have froze,
but I'll keep going then until she. Then Taylor, whose boyfriend is completely psycho, she's having this is basically another kid with a different man, and she refuses to get married to the guy. I kind of respect that because like she needs to chill. Should have never gotten pregnant with this dude. This is another dude that looks like a psycho. Her boyfriend and this guy Zach, the two of them can team up and would be a tag team serial killer duo that we would never be able to deal with. All right, I'm done. You can continue. I might chime in with more thoughts as we go.
Are y'all finished or are y'all done?
Thank you, Brusco.
Okay.
I'll remember more. If we did this last week, I'd have had so many more takes.
Tomless asks, how do you feel about the possibility of Disney using AI to voice Darth Vader now that James Earl Jones has passed? RIP to James Earl Jones.
I don't want any more Darth Vader content.
That's probably the right answer. I mean, I'm good with him showing up in a cartoon here or there.
Right.
That's about it.
But not like I don't want them to do AI for the voice. I don't want them to bring in another person or something. Like we're good. We can
retire the character.
I would have loved to have had the character longer, but obviously it doesn't work out that way. We can just retire the character, as Eden said.
Sorry, I'm just wrapping up Ethan's recording here.
I want to know how much he got paid for signing away his rights to allow them to do that, though.
Yeah, it's like signing away your life rights or something like that.
It's never enough. It's never.
I know that's. Enough, I feel like I feel like it was probably like an incredibly like insulting price. Like,
yeah. Well, no, I bet you it was a nice price, but I bet you in the hindsight, like you look back at it 10 years, going like, oh,
yeah,
that really wasn't what it should have been.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But like there was just this thing where the guy who plays Grand Moff Tarkin, he was AI or he was CGI rendered in Rogue One, and now his friend is suing Disney and also suing the actor's family. Okay, Lucasfilm sued for recreating Grand Moff Tarkin actor Peter Cushing in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. He died in 1994.
Oh, okay.
And so a friend of Cushing has alleged they didn't have the rights or permission. And then he's also suing He's also suing Peter Cushing's family for letting it happen.
Oh, this dude can. This is the problem. This is frivolous lawsuits. This dude can fuck right off.
I don't know. Eden, Mo, I hope that you guys would be allies enough to me that if Count the Dings uses my voice,
I wouldn't be okay with it.
I would sue.
I would sue.
Famously, that you guys would step up and protect me.
I would, and I know your dad would be on my side, so I wouldn't have to worry about suing your dad.
My whole thing
we're using my dad. We're using my dad's AI voice. Don't worry about that.
Okay, well, it's all about the family deciding. If your dad says, "Hey, I don't want that," then cool, I got your back. It's all about the family deciding it. That's my the dude suing the family. Man. The dude suing the family is a whole other thing.
Well, I just like that he's like, no, you guys don't understand what Peter Cushing wanted.
That's so
I got this. I'm the man. But I mean, I feel like it's inevitable. At least we're using somebody's already existent voice to make.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's because it's such an iconic human voice that we're keeping it going. If they recast Darth Vader, they had somebody else do his voice, that'd be way worse to me for whatever reason.
You can't do it. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. Now, don't get me wrong.
Are there any other roles like that?
Ooh. Well, obviously Dom Toretto in Fast and the Furious.
That's a really good one. That's a really good
AI
one.
Vin Diesel for forever.
Could not recast that role.
Are you talking just voice?
No, I think all encompassing. I think like any characters. It doesn't have.
I mean, Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I was like Ethan Hunt for sure. Can only be Tom Cruise.
You can't. They tried to do the Jeremy Renner thing and hand it off, and then he's like, actually, no, I'm good. I'll just keep being Ethan Hunt.
Well, I feel bad for Renner. That's the second time that happened. They tried it with the Bourne movies too.
Yeah.
They're like,
I feel bad. I didn't watch like any of the ones that he was in.
Like Bourne movies, or it was only one, and it wasn't very good.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't have any interest in it. I liked the original trilogy so much that I was like, I don't have any interest in it.
It's hard.
Like I like Jeremy Renner as an actor, though. Yeah.
When you've done so many, it's hard to kind of do it. It's not like Bond, where we're just used to there being a different Bond after,
But like once upon a time, Sean Connery was Bond for a long time. Do y'all feel like people that grew up watching Sean Connery Bond as Bond feel that way? Because he was the first one, right? Like
there are people that are definitely going to just say, I'm only going to watch Bond, the Sean Connery Bonds. I don't.
But I feel like Bond isn't a person specifically, because he's like the way that the world is built, like anyone can be 00 blank, like whatever the number, the agent can be replaced.
But 007 has always got to be Bond, like just for the movie concept in that sense. And you're right, there are other 007s, there are 00 agents, and in that sense, for the movie concept and stuff, it's Bond, right? Like that's the whole point of it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And I think it's along those lines of you can't. That one, we're used to that being a change.
Yeah.
Right. Like I've seen all of them, from Sean Connery to Roger Moore to
Timothy Dalton Supremacy.
Timothy Dalton.
Only did 2, but those were amazing.
Daniel Craig. I love Daniel Craig.
I love Daniel Craig too. Yeah.
We'll see what happens if the Aaron Johnson kid ends up being Bond. We'll see. But like you're used to that. But other movies like Mission Impossible, you can't do that. We're not used to it.
That's true.
Or Aunt Viv.
Yeah, I love a famous recast that's like pretty divisive, like the Aunt Viv situation. Yeah. I mean,
Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle and
in Iron Man. Man, I wish Terrence Howard would be in one of these like Deadpool movies or something like that. They're all too scared of him. They're all too terrified of bringing him in. I think it is like voice actor though, Eden. You can replace the voice actor and keep pushing.
I think it's easier to get away with it because there's already people, like we know that KP and Black Dragon Roll Jerome sound exactly the same. It's like there's already people with voices that are hard to differentiate. So I do think with voice actors it's easier. I'm
pretty sure Looney Tunes, like they've swapped. Like there's been multiple people who did Bugs Bunny, and there's been multiple people who did like Elmer Fudd and stuff. And you were talking, were you talking about the Animaniacs last week?
Yeah.
So, like I'm sure those aren't the original Animaniacs.
Yeah,
they're still doing Animaniacs.
They
Dude,
rebooted
it's so
it.
good. It's so good. The new ones are so good. Highly recommend. Yeah.
What was it on again? Sorry, I know you mentioned it.
Hulu.
There we go. I just default.
They switched out Pam's mom on The Office.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh. But I feel like with like side characters like that are so like no one cares,
feels like a
I'm
betrayal.
rewatching Game of Thrones, and the recasting is pretty hilarious that they do, and just everybody just doesn't care. Like there's 3 different The Mountains. Like in season 1, it's one guy. In season 2, it's a different guy, and then it's like the buff ass dude in season 4 that everybody remembers. And then like Beric Dondarrion gets recast. Like there's a kid that plays a Lannister cousin, and then the next season they cast him again as Tom and Baratheon. Like it's they really played fast and loose with that one.
My
switching
favorite
roles is
Order.
wild.
My favorite is Law and Order. Yeah. The number of times you've seen different people have played different roles, different criminals, different victims, this and that. Like it's they had somebody, I think, that was a murdered stripper eventually come back as the assistant DA. I'm telling you, like they've had like it's like every time.
That's funny.
Hey,
wait a second.
And because I basically just have that on loop at the house when nothing's going or whatever, and I need noise, I'll stumble along like, hey, wait a minute.
I remember you from the last from 5 seasons ago. Yeah.
Or like like Ryan Murphy uses the same people in everything.
Yeah.
Like it's different projects, but it's like the same cast almost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody watched the Wise Guy documentary on Max about The Sopranos?
No, I haven't watched that yet. I'm a little behind on stuff right now, but did you check it out, Mo?
Yeah, it's actually really, really interesting to hear David Chase kind of talk about creating of the show. But the stuff I found interesting was the casting videos, and they just showed you the
casting videos
of all the different people trying out for
the different roles.
Tony, all of them. Tony, Christopher Moltisanti, all of them, and just how they stumbled on some of these guys. And they got the one dude from the Bruce Springsteen band who was basically like, I'm not an actor. He's like, the guy's like, no, I'm gonna make one.
He's so goddamn good in that show.
So good in it. So good in it.
Silvio is one of my favorites for sure.
But then you kind of get some of the stories there. The one thing that was amiss to me that I was curious about was they didn't have any of the kids. They didn't have Meadow or AJ on the dock, and I'd be very curious.
AJ, I think, has descended into obscurity, and that's fine.
No, they're both they have a podcast.
Also, AJ on an episode of Law and Order.
Oh, I just heard him on Chrissy Chaos a couple weeks ago.
When you say he
Rob
has
Eiler?
a podcast, what okay, so does everybody. So does like the One Tree Hill chicks have a podcast.
Rob Eiler and what's her nuts, Jamie, they've got one together on Your Mom's House Network.
It is called Not Today, Pal.
They also have Pajama Time.
Okay, good to know. Well, I'm glad that they have a podcast. They're just like me. We're on the same level.
What do you need to catch up on, Maze? What are you behind? What are the shows that
I'm going to be doing a lot of catch up this weekend, but Only Murders in the Building is back right now. I have to watch this week's episode. I'm watching Bad Monkey, which I haven't watched this week's episode yet, but I'm mostly enjoying that. It's really just like Vince Vaughn is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm watching that. Yeah.
It's great to hang out with Vince Vaughn. That's really the main thing. It's
on my list.
You might like it, Eden. It's a Florida Keys murder mystery. And Vince Vaughn is like he's a detective, but he's so
where's that streaming?
It's on
Apple.
TV. He's disgraced by his own police department, so he's a food inspector technically, but he's trying to solve this murder.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm always good. Always here for a detective, like a comeback story, like especially in the context of a murder mystery.
Yeah.
Just think of Vince Vaughn as a detective. Like it's just basically the nonstop talking that's kind of funny.
Rings of Power is going on, and Slow Horses. I really need to watch Slow Horses. I haven't started the new season at all. That came out on the 4th, so like a week and a half ago. And yeah, so that's plenty. Only Murders in the Building, Rings of Power, Slow Horses, right. Bad Monkey. I'm watching Industry, but I'm caught up on that.
I haven't started Slow Horses or Industry, so I'm kind of.
I haven't started Slow Horses, and I need to catch up on Industry. I think I only watched season 1.
Slow Horses for my men. Says LC Smash. Yes, that's exactly right.
Bad
Trip
Sisters is back in November.
Yep, I got that written down. November 13th. I'm a little worried about season 2 for that, Katie.
Severance in January.
Well, I've been waiting for that for like 5 years. It feels like.
Is that season 2 finally coming out?
Dude,
yes.
Yeah.
Never got into Severance.
It's because Ben Stiller had to go to every single Knicks game, so he couldn't go.
I also like stopped watching it because like it was like when
I watched Sugar.
Season 2, what kept being like there was no release date, and I was like, why? I know that it ends off like in a not complete arc, so I was like, well, why would I watch that? I would have to wait until until I'd at least know when season 2 is airing before even broaching it.
Yeah, I mean, the season finale for Severance was really good, which almost makes it worse. So I hear what you're saying.
Now that it's 3 years later,
I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch it because it's like it's been so long. But yeah, Trip TV asked if we watched Sugar. Katie and I talked about Sugar a little while ago, but not
Sugar was weird.
In depth.
Never even heard of it.
It's like he's a private investigator in LA and he's working on a kidnapping case.
Yeah.
And I would say like it was a pretty good show that was pretty interesting for like 6 episodes, and then there's a big ass reveal that kind of changed the whole shape of the show.
Yeah, you're like,
heard about the reveal. Yeah.
And then it kind of stopped, and then it kind of stopped being the show that it was before.
Yeah.
And then it kind of limped towards the end. It's like, all right, well, either like do that at the beginning,
or
so we can explore that, or
I agree,
or just don't do it. I mean, it would have been perfectly fine if they didn't have that big twist. But yeah, it's been an Apple TV onslaught. They've just been releasing shit left and right. So that's just another Apple TV show that may or may not happen.
Probably and Yellowstone's finally coming back for the second half of season 5.
I stopped. I just got tired.
I don't remember what happened. That was so long ago.
I've stopped I stopped, I think, after season 3 or something. The other thing was, has anybody watched the show Perfect Couple on Netflix? The Nicole
That's
Kidman
on my
show?
list too.
I've heard of. I mean, I don't really watch Netflix shows by default, but I've heard about it.
It's not
Is it
bad.
reality?
No, relax,
okay.
Eden. I actually watch fucking.
It sounds
shows.
like it could be. Okay.
No, the attitude
like
you gave me was we're on the TV show part of the thing. I'm not. I would have hit us with the reality stuff or when I was doing the other stuff. But this one's actually like it's pretty good. I am curious if they telegraphed it too easily, though. It's a murder mystery, but like if they telegraphed it too easily, I
heard the wigs are terrible.
Awful.
I'm really out on Nicole Kidman.
You don't like the AMC intro she does?
I don't like that.
Was it like since a specific moment / role, or like
kind of always?
Oh,
but now she's in so many big, like acclaimed TV shows that I really haven't enjoyed, like Big Little Lies and 9 Perfect Strangers and this Perfect Couple show, and like.
What about The Undoing?
I didn't watch The Undoing,
Ooh.
probably because I don't like her. And then she also had she was in Lioness, which I didn't watch, which is another Taylor Sheridan.
I loved Lioness.
I mean, that sounds more like something I could get into because it's like Sicario-esque, like
9 Perfect Strangers was weird.
That was a really weird show. I mean, she's very available now, and I've never really liked her. I liked her in The Northman. That was kind of a good use of her, but yeah, for the most part, I'm out on.
You're just mad because she's working a lot.
I am mad that she's working a lot. I mean, she'll never reach Jared Leto territory, but I would say she's.
You can never be an ally if you're going to be against women working hard.
Yeah. What if she scaled a building?
What about one woman working? Like, can I be out on just one woman and still be an
No,
ally?
you have to.
You only
support 'em
get
all.
one. Be
Yeah,
smart
support
about
'em
your
all.
decisions.
Wisely? Damn, huh? Would I put Nicole Kidman in my designated hater spot? That's a great question.
The
It's
one
her
spot you get,
Ghislaine.
the one spot you are allowed.
You get one woman that you can't be a fan of, and it's for 5 years. It's a 5-year contract, so you better pick wisely, because if somebody new comes along, you're gonna want that. You're gonna want that option in your lineup. Okay. Vince Jaime says making a late breakfast. Potatoes or tortillas? Those don't seem like mutually exclusive things.
Yeah, I was like, are they mutually exclusive?
Yeah, you couldn't put the potatoes on the like. What else do we have?
breakfast
as well?
burrito
Like,
with potatoes.
Yeah, what are the other ingredients that we're working with here?
like
Vince Jaime, give us your chopped. What's in your cupboard? Like, give us everything in your fridge, and we'll tell you how to make a meal out of it.
Yes.
Because if it's just those two, I'm going potatoes. Because tortillas by itself, tortillas need
at least have some
other
cheese
stuff.
or something.
That's a very
like,
Sean
Can
Jordan.
you make like a little quesadilla or like, do you have anything to put on the tortillas? Because I feel like tortillas by themselves.
Well,
he
says street tortillas. Does that help?
But what does that mean?
I know what a street
What
taco
else is there?
I don't know what a street tortilla is.
Okay. Here we go.
Chicken, eggs, and he apologized to me because I don't like the genocide of having chicken and eggs together. Onions, and then either tortillas or potatoes. I mean, that sounds like a tortilla.
Make potatoes
situation.
and do a burrito.
Yeah, just do if you have salsa in the house.
If you have them both, I think you need to do both.
Do a potato scramble with the eggs and chicken and onions, and then put it into the tortilla with some salsa. And wrap it up into a breakfast burrito.
Do you think this person is in the right place? Believe in Jesus?
What is happening here?
Lucero? Lucifer is telling us to believe in Jesus?
Jesus is a bitch!
This is a Wendy's.
He's just trying to warn us. I think he's just trying to warn us, guys. I think he's going from this
Was it because of Maze's Nicole Kidman? Was it because of Maze's Nicole Kidman tape?
Yeah, that's what happened. Lucifer popped up to let us know that we have to like Nicole Kidman. But guess what?
Otherwise,
I'm not succumbing. I'm still not going to like her.
Breakfast
RGG asks, what is the Mount Rushmore of cities outside the U.S. to visit? So give me 4 cities outside the U.S. to visit.
Tokyo.
Taormina, Sicily.
I got to throw Taipei in there.
I thought you were about to say Terramana Tequila.
Now, let's do it this way. Break it down by region. You can only have one.
Oh, regional.
One per region.
One per region.
Yeah.
So it's not like, because it's, it's very easily to slide it through into like all the places in Asia are great that I want to go see.
Right.
I want to go to Seoul. I want to go to Taipei. There's a lot of stuff.
Is Tokyo over Seoul right now, though?
I don't know, but
or is the main reason just because the yen is weak at the moment that Tokyo is ahead? Because I feel like Seoul is like way cooler now, like as far as like smart cities and technology goes. Like just economically, they're doing way stronger than Japan. I'm just speaking economically. That's the fact.
Welcome
right
to
now.
our world politics.
The only reason I know this is because one of my best friends lives in Tokyo, and he gave me like this breakdown of like how like Tokyo's like, I mean, Japan overall is just really suffering, like overall, like internationally in business. So I'm
tell him it doesn't matter. The rapture's coming.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Believe in Jesus.
It's
for Lucifer, Satan.
I'm still gonna go with Tokyo just because I've always wanted to go to Tokyo.
You can still have it. You can still have it.
But like, Seoul is also on my list, but Tokyo has always been just higher on my list. I've wanted to go to Japan for a long time. Europe, I'm gonna go Rome just because I love pasta and everything there, and was there last year. Whatever, Katie.
Katie thumbs it down. You just failed that one. I think Paris is great. I've spent the most time there, so I would say that would be the easiest for me to pick. Out of places that I've actually been, but Yeah, I mean, I'm not that traveled, guys. I've traveled inside the U.S. I could give you U.S. cities easily, but outside the U.S., I mean,
I don't have anything like I've never really traveled south of the U.S. I've done Mexico a little bit,
like
but
Central America,
but I've
or
never
South
done Central America or
Yeah.
South America. Like I've never done those regions at all. So like I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah, I've only been to Canada and Italy.
Yeah, I really like Montreal and Toronto. They're both cool. I would recommend both those Canadian cities. I haven't been to
I was in
Vancouver.
Montreal.
I would like to go. Obviously, heard great things about Mexico City. I've been intrigued by Brazil. I've been intrigued by Buenos Aires in Argentina. And yeah, I mean, Zach's done a nice little route.
We need to do this question again when Zach is back.
Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Paris, London is a pretty good quartet right there. I like all four of those. And you got to meet up with Brad Williams in Copenhagen.
Yeah, nice little surprise.
Tim Roberts, if you could live for eternity, would you want to?
No.
Or fuck that noise.
No.
Come on, we've all seen the vampire
Fuck
movies. You lose all of your friends and you lose all of your family. You have no like meaning in life
great.
because like
no commitments.
But like no reason.
Let me know when it gets bad.
I mean, I'm just saying everything that I hear from the vampire.
What's the vampire suicide rate?
Not high enough, man. Vampire is still a problem.
What do you think's the number one way to go? Do they eat like a garlic pizza, or do they a steak to the heart? Do they just hang in the sun? Like what's a vampire?
Self-staking.
Step out.
Self-staking.
But
it's like you can
also
get a stake in the ground and fall forward onto it, or
I've heard that vampires like to try all the sodas at fast food restaurants. So that's a pretty high rate.
That's how they do it.
Yeah.
But they don't have to worry about certain disease, like
Yeah, they don't have to worry about obesity or
arteries being clogged or anything like that.
In Lord of the Rings world and in Rings of Power, the elves live forever basically, and they have this funny way of relating to time where like one of the characters is a dwarf and he's like, I grew up and I had a family and I have kids and I got married and like I have this whole life and you haven't come visit me, and the elf is like, what? That was like 15 minutes.
Wow.
Blip on the radar. Like I'm sorry, that's your whole life.
Sorry, my perspective.
That is a blink of an eye to me. But I think as long
as
an
infomercial.
I think if you could stay in your prime, I think it would be interesting. But
that's
if
true.
you could never die,
but like you'd also like never get to retire. Like you just have to keep working your entire life. Also,
why would you have to keep working? If you're gonna live forever, you could do some
don't you
funky
need somewhere
shit.
To live? And like don't you want?
How do you have money?
Don't you want nice things? What is the point of living if you can't have material things? You know.
What if you get a life prison sentence?
Does the government know that you are going to live forever, or can you be collecting Social Security?
Could you also trick them at some point? Hey, my life sentence is done.
What's that thing where they sentence people like 215 years? And they're like, 215 years.
We don't expect you to make it. And then 2016, 216 years. I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That last 5 years, he's like, guys, I've been sitting here for 210 years. I'm not screwing this up with getting it in trouble.
Do not pick a fight around me.
Yeah. Okay. How much would someone have to pay you to put an ad on your car? Says We Got a Fled. And he sent a picture of our favorite water company, Liquid Death. They're back at it, of course, showing us basically turning a Toyota into a NASCAR.
So
talking like
cringe. I'm sorry. This is so cringe. Like, I want to crawl under my desk right now.
So that's a no for you, Eden?
I feel sorry for the people that got casted for this commercial. Like, I hope they got paid a lot, for one.
But would you drive a Liquid Death car for
30K is way too low. 30K is way too low. 30K is way too low.
I'm talking like a million a year. Like you know, if I'm gonna be driving in this embarrassing ass monstrosity,
I need
like,
$1 million a year.
I need to be able to say to people like
I'm getting paid $1 million a year.
I'm able to buy a house because of this stupid car.
Yeah.
So and I think they'd all be like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. In that situation, I agree.
It's also iced tea. I don't like that they're getting into iced tea.
Done a lot worse for less.
That's fair, Katie. That's a good point. I used to think that it would be really cool. Like I thought when
car is pretty funny though.
Like my dad had a VW Bug in the mid 2000s, and I was trying to convince him at the time to get advertising on his car. But yeah, I don't know. Toss up. I would take 30,000.
Get Herbie fully loaded.
I would say when I was also broke, I thought about it. Like getting even the little display to put on the top of the car, the LED one or whatever that they can advertise on that. I thought about it.
Yeah.
Real James Cotto asks, have you ever accidentally broadcasted an embarrassing life moment on social media?
Like on live?
Or just...
Sure.
Yeah.
Or an Instagram
like
story?
On your story by a school?
No. Maybe on your story.
I have not.
I am incredibly meticulous about what I put on social media. So no.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say yes.
Not me.
So yes.
If it does happen,
it's actually because it happened one
it.
time and then never again. Is I learned my lesson. So yes, I have. But I blocked it out of my memory. So did it really happen?
Yeah. I mean, I have not, but
because Maze, you barely even post your life, like
barely.
Yeah.
Just embarrassing engagements. That's it.
Which is how I wish I could approach it.
I mean, I posted a lot of shit on Facebook in like 2000.
Facebook doesn't count. Let's not. We don't have to count Facebook.
Those memories are embarrassing though, dude. Those come back to haunt you. It's like 10 years ago, this is what your status was. I'm like, oh god.
I mean, I used to use MySpace and Zynga, so yeah, I guess I have posted incredibly cringe, embarrassing moments. Just anything that I posted on there, I'm sure was like I would look at.
You got a live journal out there?
Oh god. No, so I skipped LiveJournal and Tumblr, but I was big into like the Zynga and MySpace.
Me too.
Could, like code it. You could like code it, like put an HTML and CSS and like customize it, and that was like made it really fun. But yeah, I never got into LiveJournal or Tumblr.
When I went from MySpace to Facebook and I couldn't customize, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yep,
so
ruined your
lame.
life.
Where do I put a song and post my bulletins?
I know.
MySpace was so great.
I guess I will out myself and say that I made this like really cute like Hollister themed like MySpace like one time. My first Abercrombie was my first jobs. Okay, so I thought it was cool then. Okay,
don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. You thought it was cool then, and it was. So you be happy.
I thought it was cool when I was in high school. Okay,
and you built your whole
identity
around it.
We did, and then I'm
a lot
sorry.
of time and effort. What was the song that was playing for your Hollister themed MySpace?
I wish I remember, but unfortunately I don't. I was big into like very candy pop.
Probably the OC theme song.
Yeah. Actually, probably it was. Looking out for number one, California.
I have a friend who sends me exclusively our Facebook interactions that he gets reminded of.
Oh my god.
Like, on this date 13 years ago. It's just such dumb shit. Roland Richard. Maze, any baby boy updates? So I believe I gave you guys all the update that the corner store from hell has been shut down, that they evicted them successfully. I want to say 6 months ago, in the last 6 months. And yeah, the landlord evicted them, but they kept changing the locks, but they kept breaking back into the store.
That's incredible.
I love that.
Forcing the eviction to escalate to the point where they had to completely gut the place. So it's been gutted and emptied for a couple months now. LT Smash. Oh God, I thought Maze was having a baby.
No, for a second I was like, did I miss an announcement? Like I was like, and then Maze was like,
not only having a baby, had the baby.
Had a baby. And I call it baby boy. And I call it baby boy. No, that's baby boy capitalized. That's the name. That's the name of the Chihuahua.
And I missed it.
The Chihuahua from the corner store from hell. Has not been spotted. He's been disappeared. I don't know what happened to our guy who used to run the corner store. He has not been spotted. They gutted the corner store. It's empty.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to that era. I think it's like 2018 to 2024. What a run. 6 years. Win the lottery. Blow all the money. Run a corner store into the ground. Have somebody fall from the ceiling. Sell drugs from behind the counter in the Ronald McDonald. Yeah, it was quite an era. I mean, I wish I could say that it's completely stopped the accumulation of trash on my corner. Not completely. Still occasionally get some random trash drops from the apartment building to my right here. Also, I think one of the Chinese fish markets has come and dumped their like crab trash by my tree.
Like it smells terrible.
It's bad, man. It's not a good situation. So I'm still waiting. Like I'm wondering if like I should get a camera or something to try to bust these people, but
it's like too much work.
It is too much work. That is.
Then you'd have to like power the camera and like I
have to keep my eye on it. Yeah, I got enough shit going on, man. I got enough shit going on. But yeah, baby boy. Yeah. And then your boy Reflex asked, does baby boy qualify? It does not. It does not, because I would have liked to do baby boy on Cinephobe. Okay. Paul Bull asks, should punting be banned so teams are forced to go for it on 4th down? I'm willing to sacrifice Australian jobs for the good of the game.
No.
You like punting, Mo?
I don't. Well, because we also have, as an SC fan, we also have an electric kick returner, and I like when he gets the chance to return a punt.
I think if they banned punting, you'd see way more lopsided scores in games.
Yeah, it'd get boring pretty quickly.
Like I think punting it's not exciting, but it keeps the games more competitive. Whereas if you had a team that like couldn't convert first downs ever, they just get annihilated. Like they'd be turning it over in their own zone immediately. Punting is part of the game. We've talked about this before on different pods. It's like having somebody come in and bowl instead of shooting free throws during a basketball game. Like it's a non-inclusive skill set. Like it's a specialist who does his own thing apart from everybody else on the team. But I still think it's part of it.
Yo, listen, when you get a good punter that can flip the field.
Oh man.
I am dorky, but I'll be like, oh god, that was a great punt. Like
most furiously tweeting at the marching band to play "They Not Like Us."
I just want them to play "Not Like Us."
They don't punt like us. They don't punt like us.
That's pretty funny.
Eden, Real James Cotto wants to know: do you prefer working out at home or at the gym?
That's a good question. I used to be a gym person. I was very much a gym person growing up, but I think nowadays I've gotten used to sort of my work from home setup where I can just work out, like take short breaks from work and like do like a core workout or like my kettlebell workouts and gyms are really expensive now. Like because I live somewhere where gyms used to be affordable in the South, but gyms in New York are not affordable at all. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know how many tiers of salary I would need to go up before I can afford a gym membership. I think like Equinox is something like $300 a month. I mean, I know that's on like the high end, but that's insane. Like people paying $300 for a gym membership, like
Uncut Gym says Adam Jameson.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. I can't afford to do yoga. I can't afford to go to yoga here. Like I have, and I'm lucky that I'm trained. So I can't, and it makes it harder to justify because I have done the yoga teacher training that I'm like, it's not the same experience, but like, I just can't justify spending that much I don't make that much money.
Sean McCullough has a selfless plug. If anybody wants a fitness nutrition coach, he's your guy. So hit up Sean McCullough. There you go.
Nice.
I think I would prefer home as well. I mean, I haven't gone to the gym in many years. My workout routine now is private Pilates sessions.
Oh,
so one of the perks of being engaged.
Pilates is expensive.
It is expensive. Trust me. I know about the other side of it, but
it's so expensive. Yeah.
Plus, like
to do
it. The
equipment,
machines, the reformer, the Cadillac.
Crazy.
Captain Tripp said he saw you at the gym the other day, Maze. No, he didn't. I mean, that's just a bold-faced lie. But cool. LT Smash says, nah, I just eat all lean cuisine. Thanks, though. That makes sense. That is a good way to stay trim. But yeah, I mean, Pilates, like, I honestly thought it was going to be more strenuous. Or like
it's all low intensity, but like
it's low intensity,
deep ass muscles.
Yeah, and it's effective. It's like it builds stability in ways that you would not expect. Like
core and like overall balance.
It's also just so much better for longevity.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is.
It's funny. Have you seen the videos of like I think it was like bodybuilders or something that were sent
to go to a Pilates class and
it's just completely done. When I was in downtown, I'd go to like a Pilates class every now and then.
You would like feel like
sounds
layers of your abs that you didn't even know existed.
No, but just the sounds of whatever you okay, now hold. And I'm just sitting there and there's these girls that are, whatever, 100 pounds or whatever, like no problem doing it. And I'm just sitting there pouring sweat, just going like, shit, no, like dying. It's like, it's miserable. But it's a great workout.
Yeah, I mean,
I would love to do more of it, to be honest with you.
Isabel does mostly like rehabilitation Pilates. So like she does Pilates for a lot of people that are like recovering from injury or older. So there's definitely like more high intensity, trendy, like Soul Cycle of Pilates out there, but it can be a very like relaxing, not that stressful workout. But I guess that's kind of an in-between because I go to the studio, but it's also private. So what are you going to do? But I would prefer that to getting on a reformer in a class with like 15 other people and showing everybody my thighs.
But the thing is, I feel like the class element does push you harder. Like, because like like for yoga, for example, you're supposed to like not have ego and stuff, but like I've played sports my entire life. I used to have so much ego that I didn't even believe that yoga was a real sport or like a real activity that was worth doing because I was like, I can breathe and stretch, like whatever. And like,
whatever, nerd.
When you're in a class, like there is something about like it just holds you more accountable. I think like you're just less likely to slack off. Like that's what I miss about being in like just even a public environment when working out is like I just don't push myself as hard because I don't feel like I should probably work on this, but like there's just an element of competitiveness and like feeling like I need to show up harder to show everyone that I'm like the most fit person in the room.
No, it's a great tool. Like that's the whole like Orange Theory. That's the whole thing. They
the whole
show
concept,
you the leaderboard, and it makes you want
to push harder. Yeah.
The very few times I've ridden the Peloton, like yes, like I'm literally competing with people like on the thing, and I'm never gonna win, like all that stuff. But
I hate that part of Peloton, but I get it. I get it.
I hate the Peloton in general. I hate the bike.
I hate it too.
I'm pretty much done with it. And
I need to turn those peppy little instructors all the way down. I can't stand them. If anybody out there is motivated by some person shouting at you over techno music, like, I don't get it.
That's fine. Each their own. Everybody does their own thing.
No, not to each their own. Nicole Kidman,
no,
I know you love Peloton, Nicole Kidman, and I don't like that about you. God,
if she came out against Peloton, would you change your stance?
It'd be a step. That would help.
A step forward.
Jordan Krejci says the way May said private made it sound like the pottery scene from Ghost, but on a Pilates machine. You're goddamn right, Jordan, and I'm the clay.
Oh,
yeah, being molded. Exactly. I think Eden, in terms of the competition element, you still need to like have a baseline understanding of what you're doing, though. Yeah. Because if you go into a class, let's say for the first time,
that's true.
You're gonna be
intimidating.
You're gonna be, but also you're gonna like be doing,
but it's humbling,
things wrong.
Yeah,
and like just be competitively trying to do it quicker or like imitate the person next to you, and you might not actually be doing it properly.
Yo, that's so true. I don't know if I've ever told this story, but the reason that I actually realized that yoga was worth doing is because I got my ass humbled at the first Bikram class I ever went to, because I was like, it's just holding poses. And I looked up the poses. I was like, I can do all of these. They're not that hard. I didn't realize that the heat, like I knew it was a heated room, but I didn't know it was that hot for one. And I didn't hydrate. I drank coffee before because my egotistical in shape personality was like, there's no way I'm gonna not make it through a yoga class that is just sitting there and breathing. And yeah, I got my ass humbled. I'm not gonna lie. It was like a real moment of realization.
But that's a perfect example, though, of like, we always assume if I'm fit, I can do this stuff, but not understanding that it exercises a different muscle or whatever it is, or works something really differently in a way where your body's just not ready for that. Like, that's actually just a great example of it. Like, you're incredibly fit. I can do this. No problem. Then you go in there like, shit.
I had to leave the class. I did not make it through the class. My muscles started cramping up. They had to give me like electrolytes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she pushed herself too hard and collapsed in front of everybody.
I am approaching a weird moment, though, in my soccer group where I'm not aging out, but I'm also not what I used to be. And this group is also bringing in some younger guys where I'm like,
do you need to find a new league or?
No, I'm not. I'll retire. Okay. But like, but I'm like 5 years ago, I had a busted year, and they're talking shit. And then, of course, when I stop them, I look at them, I go like, bro, I'm over 40. I should never be able to stop your ass. Like, that's where I start looking at them going like, all of these small wins for me should be embarrassing for you. But I'm getting there where I know there's like, my mind thinks I can get to this, but I'm not what I used to be. So I'm a step slow. And it's just like, I'm slowly coming to terms with the fact that I might have to retire soon.
What position do you play, Mo?
Sweeper. Or center back.
Well, yeah. I mean, can't you just like play a less stressful position?
I'm gonna be honest, with our soccer group, there are no less stressful positions. We're all yelling at each other, and
I know, but like, can't you play like left mid or something?
No, because then you still got to be working your way back defensively and things like that. It's a lot more running that I'm probably not in shape enough to do.
That's why I retired from playing pickup. Is because like I can go shoot all day, but like I'm not trying to run the court anymore. Or like, yeah, I always get hurt anyway.
I'm sad. I've missed.
That's Sean McCullough wants, bro, I'm over 40 to be the title. But unfortunately, I think Popeyes in Paris is the title. Sorry, Sean.
Is the title. Should be. But I would love to find a local pickup game, but I need to find it like a noontime game that I enjoy playing.
Yeah.
But I also haven't touched the ball since the pandemic.
Vince wonders, what the fuck? Where did Katie go? Katie was in her car and dropped and then came back and then dropped again. So I'm assuming she had to go back to work after lunch. But thank you to Katie, to Mo, to Eden. I'm Anthony Mays, and we'll catch you next time.
Joining us live that are sending us awesome questions.
Yes, thank you everybody in the chat. It's always great to hear from y'all. And if you need a nutritionist, hit up Sean McCullough.
Sean, our guy, yeah.
He's the official nutritionist of the Mailbag. He recommends a steady diet of tortillas for breakfast and lean cuisine for lunch and dinner, washed down with a non-alcoholic White Claw. That's it.
Not a suicide?
Well, a suicide of all of the White Claw non-alcoholic flavors in one.
There we
you
go. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. See you next week.